Yo guys, Laura to Ski Reacts back with another video. Today we're checking out Steve-O, why it's a miracle. Steve-O's darkest years, it's a miracle he's still alive. The reason that I checked out this video is because I love Steve-O. I love him from the Jackass movies and stuff and everything, and I just wanted to check out this video to pay a tribute to him.
Warning. The following video
the video is from Patrick CC, by the way.
Features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, Patrick CC and the YouTube community guidelines must insist that no one attempt to recreate or reenact any stunt or activity performed in this video.
Life isn't just about having a lot of fun and being really cool. Life is about making people happy. Hi, my name is Steve-O, and I make people happy for a
Is that his actual name? Like, even if it's, like, is his actual name Steve-O? Or is that just, like, his performance name? Or is his name, like, Steve? Like, I don't know if that's his, like, actual name.
living.
Steve-O will go down in history as one of the greatest stuntmen to ever live. The 48-year-old is still doing rad stunts even in his older age. He has dedicated his entire life to making other...
What's that video where him and that one dude went into, like, the savannah and they let, like, a fucking tiger maul them or something? Like, it was some video where, like, they let a tiger bite them or something. Or, no. It was a gorilla. They like, got into, like, a gorilla habitat. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure.
People happy. He is a role model and a glimmer of hope for all people around the world who are struggling. But at one point, his life spiraled out of control. Steve had some really dark...
Guys, dude, have you seen that one photo? Oh, yeah, I already popped it up because I wanted... because I was looking at it before the video. Look at this photo. I don't know how this person is still fucking alive. Look at all that, dude. How do you survive shit like that?
years. He was destroying himself, and everyone sat back and watched.
I was watching people walk around my apartment.
Like, dude, yeah, I remember this. Like, I felt genuinely bad, and because, like, dude... He said that, I was watching an interview with him. He said for, like, the Jackass movies, he wasn't even really paid that much. For the amount of shit he was doing, he wasn't even really getting paid that much. He was still homeless.
Oh my god, that was wrong.
You can now multi-stream up to 4K quality to all your favorite platforms,
including Twitch, YouTube, Kick.
I don't care, go away.
He has broken every bone in his body. He has done almost every substance known to man.
Deal with it! I'm in the zone! I hate my neighbor!
Dude, I don't want to laugh because, like, he's on, like, drugs and shit, but dude, why? Dude.
That's what gangsters do!
His detrimental lifestyle almost reached the point of no return. It is a miracle that he is still alive. Richard Ted Glover and wife Donna Glover gave birth to their new baby boy Steven. By the time Steven was 13 years old...
Okay, so his name is Steven, it's not Steve-O. That's what I was wondering. I always wondered that.
He had moved, in this order, from England to Brazil, where he spoke his first words in Portuguese, to Venezuela, to Connecticut, to Miami, to England, to Canada, and back to England at age 13, where he would finish high school. He moved so much because his father was the president of Pepsi-Cola in the South American division, in charge of all operations in Brazil. With such a high position...
I know that job had to be stressful as fuck in order to, like, be in control of, like, Pepsi and all that. I know that job has to be stressful.
A global brand like Pepsi, Ted was needed all over the world.
I couldn't imagine
the Glover family was amassing
like, yeah, they'd be making a shit ton of money, but, like, imagine how stressed you'll be if you have to run Pepsi or like some big ass company like that by yourself.
Pretty good fortune. The trade-off for those millions of dollars was spending quality time with the family. On top of Steve-O's father never being around, his mother struggled with alcoholism, one of the most vicious and underestimated illnesses affecting millions of people globally.
When I was a baby, Mom was like not comfortable with me crying on an airplane. She didn't want to be like that with the loud baby on the airplane. And
I can understand that.
So she would give me booze.
So the family dynamic was basically a mother willing to do anything to make solo parenting easier, such as giving a toddler alcohol to calm them down.
That's insane.
And a father...
I think, like, I get what she's going through, but to give a toddler alcohol, that has to, like, that's child abuse, isn't it? Like, you can't just hand a 5-year-old alcohol.
Overly authoritarian, trying to make up for the times where he was at work and couldn't properly guide his son. It's safe to assume that despite all the wealth being amassed, Steve-O was not living a stereotypical privileged kid life. Every time their family moved, Steve was excited. He saw it as a new opportunity to be cool, to be rad, to make friends, but it didn't always work.
It was this 6th grade report card, and my homeroom teacher wrote, Steve like desperately craves the the attention, approval of his peers, but everything he does, in seeking that, brings about the opposite result.
A lot of young men desperately want the approval from their fathers. Since that wasn't happening, he turned to his peers. When he wasn't getting their approval either, he went to extreme measures. On October 25th, 1987, Steve figured out he could do anything he wanted as long as he wanted it badly enough. His favorite band, Motley Crue, was performing in Toronto on their Girls, Girls, Girls tour.
Oh yes, I know this. I've seen, like, because I watch a lot of, like, Steve-O, like, on his YouTube channel, like, the podcasts and stuff. He said that, like, he scrolled through, like, the phone book for, like, fucking 12 hours to find this.
Steve figured out the name of their manager,
like hotels, to see what hotel they were staying at,
and scoured through the yellow pages calling every single
that's what
hotel
I'm talking about
for their room. 13-year-old Steve-O snuck out of the house to go and meet his hero, Tommy Lee. Steve loved the anarchist lifestyle, so he started acting out more, getting in trouble, and being rebellious. That's when
when it came to, like, walk and roll people, for me growing up, I always liked Kid Rock. That was always my favorite.
He discovered his love for skateboarding. Steve's father won a video camera in a corporate golf tournament, but left it in his closet collecting dust. When Steve got into skateboarding on the streets of London, he now had a tool to document his newfound love. Skateboarding calmed Steve down a little bit. His father thought this passion would keep him out of trouble, and it did, temporarily. Immersed in the hesh outsider culture of skateboarding, Steve took it a step further. He approached the stoners from his school looking to get his first high. He wasn't peer pressured, he wasn't tricked, he went looking for it. Almost immediately.
To be honest, I don't think weed and being high is necessarily as bad. It's only bad when you have to rely on it. Like, oh, I can't work a job because I can't be high. Yeah, no, that's bad. But, like, if you, like, I don't think it's bad unless if you, like, completely rely on it.
He was hooked, which quickly progressed into a love for alcohol consumption. Before graduating high school, he was already suffering from addiction. I know a lot of you watching are aspiring artists who need quality instrumentals. Allow me to introduce Beatopia, which is the first beat subscription website for rappers and singers.
There we go.
One of the biggest party schools in the nation. In order to be accepted to the university, he had to write an essay. He wrote a 1-page redemption story that went something like this.
The moral of the story in this essay that I wrote was that my mom's like
Games went downhill when they got rid of cheats. We're bringing them back. Weemont gives you dozens of
alcoholic, and I want to come to the University of Miami to really make something of myself.
He got accepted. Little did they know, college was not going to be his redemption arc. He was getting kicked out of dorms, partying, destroying property. After 1 year with an impressive .79 GPA, Steve dropped out, but at least his dad didn't waste a bunch of money on tuition. Homeless, couch surfing, skateboarding, jumping off. Steve-O did anything.
Yeah, dude, I remember seeing that too. That is insane. He literally jumped off a fucking building.
Anything for a little bit of attention. Then he would drink through the night to hide his demons. But in 1993, he decided to get serious with his stunts and maybe try to pursue a
I want to know where he met Johnny Knoxville. That's what I want to know.
Real career as a stuntman. He moved to Albuquerque with his sister Cindy and decided to apply to the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College, which is actually free to attend if you manage to be one of the 50 students they accept per year. As goofy as it sounds, this was probably the most valuable learning experience of his life. He learned how to...
That's Steve-O? Dude, damn. Dude, if you told me that was Steve-O and I didn't know the context, I would have never even knew that was him.
Perform professionally. How to do stunts and make people laugh. Clown College had no grades. You passed if you made people laugh and entertain them. Those were basically two of Steve's strongest qualities. The graduating class of 1997 was the last group of clowns to ever graduate from the Ringling Brothers College. His father did not attend his graduation because he didn't want his son to be a clown. However, his mother went and was very proud of him. Steve would not go on to pursue a career with the Ringling Brothers. He did leave college with the most vital and career-defining transformation, his new name. Steve-O. We know that Steve's longtime passion was skateboarding, so Steve-O did everything he could to make his mark on skate history. No, he didn't.
To be honest, if I grew up skateboarding growing up, I probably would be a skater. Because that's something I really did want to do when I was younger, was learn to skateboard like a professional. But I just never really got into it, got the chance to get into it. And honestly, I'm too old for that now, to like learn that professionally.
Parks every day. He did the most outrageous stunts that could be included in videos and magazines. Big Brother magazine, a publication for the misfits of the skateboarding world. Nothing was off limits. Consistently pushing the boundaries of the First Amendment and cosplaying as an action sports magazine, they had a team of writers in charge of traveling the USA, finding rad stories, and documenting them. Steve-O was desperate to get an article about him, so he set himself and burned half of his face off.
That's
By the way,
insane.
guys, I'm sorry for constantly censoring myself, but YouTube is literally age restricting and limiting my ads on these videos for like the smallest things, so I apologize. To no surprise, this worked. He networked with the Big Brother crew, which included Jeff Tremaine, Spike Jones, and of course, Johnny Knoxville. They couldn't stand Steve-O, constantly wanting attention. His chaotic energy, raspy voice, and drunken sloppiness was a combination sober people could only handle for about 20 minutes before they needed a break. But they all warmed up to him, because he was sweet deep down, didn't mean any harm, and was literally willing to do anything. Unfortunately, in 1998, Donna Glover suffered a bad aneurysm, leaving her considerably disabled both physically and mentally. She lived until 2003 but was compromised to the point that she never truly got to see her son's success. It was at this moment Ted sat down with his son and told him that he had done him a disservice as a father. He didn't want his son to go down the path of being a stuntman, but he admired Steve's dedication and persistence, and pledged to support his career from this day forward. Despite his father's newfound support, the damage was already done. Steve's father had spent multiple weeks, even months away from Steve while he was growing up. He would travel all over the world and be missing from Steve's life. They never had a real relationship. Now that his mother was permanently hospitalized, Steve was alone, surrounded by a bunch of people who were going nowhere and encouraged him to be as wild as possible. His drinking habit got worse, and hard drugs became a bigger part of his everyday routine. In the mid-90s, Tremaine and Knoxville thought, how about we film some more of these ridiculous stunts we've been writing about and remove all the skateboarding? Double down on the chaos that was so wildly beloved by the skate community, which would become Jackass. After some heavy convincing on October 1st, 2000, MTV took a leap of faith and aired the first episode. It was a success. Hospitalizations of teenagers hit an all-time high. Just kidding, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. Now Steve-O and the Jackass guys were getting rewarded for this behavior, with money and fame. Mostly fame, because it's been reported that Steve-O was making around $200 to $500.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, because I remember watching a video and he said that, like, even when he was doing Jackass, he was still, like, homeless. They wasn't paying him enough to be able to afford a house or, like, an apartment. He was still homeless.
$500 per stunt, which was basically just enough money for him to get his next fix. But he wasn't satisfied with chump change.
Yeah, and also that. Like, imagine, like, say even if he was making $200, say he does a fucking stunt and he breaks his neck. That $200 is going to go to fixing his damn neck.
Steve-O was on a mission, and he started grinding. He released the Don't Try This at Home video/DVD shortly after Jackass aired. This was a compilation of all his crazy stunts from the late 90s that didn't get picked up for the show. 140,000 copies sold. If he sold the video for $7 or more, which is likely, he would have grossed over $1 million.
That's a lot.
Steve probably saw none of that money, which I'll get to in a minute.
So welcome to our tour video. It's like, we didn't even want to have a tour. We didn't know, you know, like, we got this crazy guy, Nick Dunlap, out of Cleveland, Ohio, who's like, I want to pay you a bunch of money to show up at spring break in Panama City, you know, like, it's like, all right, dude, you know, what do you want me to do? I want you to show up and get f***ing wasted, you know, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, I feel like they were literally asking him to show up and get wasted. That's not good people, dude. Like, I mean, even if you're getting paid a shit ton of money, the fact that you literally have to just show up wasted, that's not good.
I can do that, you know?
Literally getting paid to get wasted.
That's what I'm
could
saying.
Possibly go wrong? He decided to turn this into a business venture. The Don't Try This at Home tour with Wee Man, Preston Lacey, and some other jackasses. This was a multi-city tour.
Is Preston Lacey like the little I don't want to say it because it sounds rude. The little short dude. I don't want to say dwarf because that sounds disrespectful. I'm just gonna say The Short, dude. Is that
where
The
they
Short
traveled
Dude?
around North America to perform live stunts.
Yeah, that's him.
After selling probably $1 million in videos and doing shows in front of thousands of people, on top of selling merch, surely they were making boatloads of money. Well, they were, but Steve was seeing none of it. The manager-producer of the tour, Nick Dunlap, told Steve that they sold the tour for $10,000. That was what Steve would split with Preston and Wee Man, making his take home about—
Nah, dude, that's a scumbag move. Nah, I would be like, you motherfucker.
$3,000 for the entire thing. On top of that, they were selling tons of merch every night, of which they received none of the money. It's very possible this tour was generating anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000 per night, and Steve left with $3,000 over the whole tour because he wanted to get f***ed up and be the man.
So we went to Mexico in the summer and sold out the largest nightclub in Mexico 3 weeks in a row. And I thought, man, that was cool. But I was bummed out because I couldn't walk for days after that TV on. And Nick was thinking, how the hell am I gonna make this show happen night after night? But it had to happen, man.
How did he make the show happen night after night? Pure determination to be the coolest and dangerous guy in the room, and drugs. I just don't think a sober person could handle that much damage to their body night after night. Steve-O compiled the behind-the-scenes tour footage into a video. Don't try this at home tour video. Displays exactly how crazy their lifestyle is, on stage and off. The stunts never end. The party never ends. 24/7, Steve-O is living.
Nah, I feel like, dude, if a normal person did that that's not drunk, they will literally die 5 times over. Like, it's no way your body can handle that, being, like, sober. Unless if you're fucking Deadpool and you can regenerate, you're not dealing with that.
Living the life of a reckless stuntman.
Now that I'm all famous and everyone thinks I'm cool, I'm gonna hurt myself.
Jeff Tremaine and the Jackass franchise is known for being very strict with pay. Nobody got to negotiate contracts, nobody got royalties besides Knoxville. It was a get what you get and don't complain situation. The TV show only lasted 3 seasons and got Steve-O pretty famous, but Jackass the movie changed everything.
Yeah, so this is when I started watching Jackass. I didn't really watch the TV show, I watched the movies. I'm just gonna be frank.
Found out that I was gonna be presenting tonight. I came up with the most amazing stunt ever, and I'm ready to do it.
Wait, what video is it where, like, Eminem is trying to, like, accept an award and, like, fucking Steve-O, like, staples a thing to his chest, and then, like, Eminem's like, dude, you good? Because, like, he's bleeding. Is it this video? Where, like, he staples a thing to his chest when Eminem is trying to accept an award?
I told them, but they told me I'm not allowed to pull my wiener out. Don't worry.
Did you learn that?
God damn.
Forget the money. Steve-O was officially cool. He was the coolest guy ever, which was his lifelong dream.
Yeah, what's up? Hey, this is Steve-O. I'm really cool. Nah, I'm just kidding. No way. Hey,
Nah, I think that's cool. You just fucking got a Pizza Hut.
in the microphone. Yeah, do you think I'm cool?
Is that Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
Despite all the drugs Steve was doing, the biggest drug to him was approval, was attention, even if it was over the phone with a stranger or for a hotel staff.
Oh, it was a hotel staff. I was thinking it was like Pizza Hut.
He drastically lacked attention from his parents and tried to get it from anyone he could when he walked in a room.
You know the miracle video? Pay close attention to this one. I made it for my mom. Okay? And that's why I've been out of control, dude.
Steve-O was broken. His mother was now living her final days. He achieved exactly what he told her he would achieve, but she couldn't witness it. On November 7th, 2003, Donna Glover peacefully passed away.
That is heartbreaking, though. Honestly, like, his mom passed away, and his dad wasn't really there. Dude, that is actually heartbreaking.
She would have been extremely proud of her son. Luckily, Steve-O had some sort of stability in his life. He landed his own MTV show along Chris Pontius called Wild Boys.
Yes, this is the video I was talking about where, like, they go into, like, a gorilla habitat. Yes, this is the video I was talking about.
Traveled all over the world, would learn about local cultures and traditions, eat local foods, and interact with the local wildlife. By my description, it sounds like just another basic wildlife show. As we know, it was anything but that. It was like real life Beavis and Butthead travel the globe in G-strings.
And about $1,500 a pop. The cockatoo is the biggest ripoff in the pet store.
Oh, damn.
They have the most annoying voice.
Dude, I don't trust cockatoos. Short story. When I was younger, I went to a house that had a cockatoo. They told me to fucking feed the parrot. The parrot almost poked my eye out. I just don't trust parrots. Dude, like, I swear to God, the parrot poked my, scratched me, but it was, like, right underneath my eye. Like, if it could have been a little bit up, it would have poked my eye out, no joke. I don't trust parrots.
This is in all of the world.
Wild Boys was the best Jackass spinoff. The stunts were not as over the top, but equally as dangerous. It was a great way for the mainstream audience to get to know and love Steve-O, because where they lacked in over-the-top grandiose stunts, they made up for with humor and personality. Wild Boys filmed its last season in 2005, and without consistent work, Steve-O was about to enter his darkest years. 2005.
Did it? Yeah. This is the thing I just showed you. YouTube, do not demonetize me because I showed that photo. I hope it doesn't.
To 2007 would be Steve-O's darkest times. His drug use reached an all-time high, and it's truly a miracle he made it out alive. His drugs of choice were ketamine, cocaine, nitrous oxide, Xanax, but he would do anything he could get his hands on.
Does YouTube allow that? Oh God! I hope YouTube allows me to show that photo that I showed without restricting it, which it probably will.
Including, honestly, but not limited to, meth, video head cleaner, aluminum cleaner. He recorded everything during this time. He had a massive email list that he compiled over the years with his website. Steve would send the videos of him on drugs, straight up vlogging his downward spiral to everyone he knew. At some point, he realized Nick Dunlap was taking advantage of him, but he released 3 major projects and did 2 world tours before he realized Nick was getting filthy rich off of him. After traveling the world with his best friend and releasing 2 other videos, Steve was finally making money. Unfortunately, this wasn't a good thing, because nothing good comes from an addict with tons of money and nothing but free time.
This is the life I chose. Am I making any sense? I have to write an email tonight to 50 Cent.
One thing I will say though is, even though he's like on that stuff, at least he's not like abusive. You know what I mean? Like going up to people, fucking slapping them and shit. At least he's not that kind. That's what I will say. I mean, it's not good either way, but at least he's not like getting drunk and then fucking going up to a woman and beating her to death.
But it didn't just happen in the comfort of his own hotels and apartments. He was very obviously not doing okay in his public appearances. He was a guest on a Comedy Central show where he got absolutely wasted beyond belief, but they kind of set him up because they said,
We thought it'd be fun if you had a few drinks and then came out here and did a stunt. But
I would love that.
All right.
Picked a great
he said, I love that.
Voice doesn't quite match it.
We have a fix.
VoiceMod gives you over 100.
Steve-O had been getting paid to act out of control, getting paid to be a jackass. People didn't care about his well-being. Nobody cared to ask how he was, or maybe that he should slow down a bit. His brand, his job, was literally to be a reckless and chaotic individual.
You always thought that you would be a failure?
Kind of.
It's quite dangerous what you're encouraging kids to do, like jackass stunts.
There's more to me than
Was that dude eating scrambled eggs?
people really know, you know?
Get out of here.
Give this guy
Get out of here.
Dude, I look f***ing great right now. Making my dad proud is definitely the ultimate high that I chase. I'm just tight with my family, and I can't help it to disappoint them a lot of the time. But making them proud is the happiest that I could be.
Although he was out of control, a danger to himself and everyone around him, and seemingly absent-minded, he was very self-aware. He knew exactly why he was so messed up. He knew how badly he just wanted attention. He knew he just wanted his dad to be proud of him. He had too much pride to ask for help, even though he knew he needed it. His dad admits that he was wrong for being so absent in his life, but Steve-O never actually asked him for anything. Steve-O knew his fate was coming. He even tells a story of hallucinating his own intervention. He knew it was time to get sober, but it still took a little bit of force from his friends. After months of pre-planning,
And also, I wouldn't blame the jackass for all of it, because like when you, like sometimes you don't even know just how bad it is when you see someone like that. Like, yeah, you might see people occasionally like act out or do that kind of stuff, but like since they were all doing it, it probably felt normal. Like Johnny Knoxville, everyone was doing that kind of shit. So like maybe they didn't pick up on just how bad it was, because think about it, if everyone in that group was stuntmen, they're used to that kind of shit, like acting wild. They all do that, so they probably didn't pick up on how bad it was, to be honest. So I don't really blame them fully.
One day, Johnny Knoxville and some of the Jackass crew showed up to Steve-O's house and forcibly brought him to a rehabilitation center. He had no choice.
Knoxville came over to my apartment with the director of Jackass, the director of photography, the executive producer, the sound guy. It was like the whole crew of Jackass came over to stop me from hurting myself after helping me hurt myself for 10 years. I was defiant. I didn't want really any part of it.
To be honest, I will say that was good on them though, because the fact that like if they didn't come in there and like basically force him to go to rehab, he probably would have honestly died. I'm just being honest.
And then it became clear that this was not a yes or no question. This was a you're going to come willingly or we're going to physically beat you up and take you against your will.
Knoxville asked Steve-O's father to be there when they picked him up, but he said no.
I said no. I'm going to come out, but I'm not going to come for the intervention, because his Jackass friends will do a much better job without me than they could possibly do with me.
March 10th, 2008.
Yeah, I'll elaborate on that a little bit more, because I've seen the video. He said the reason he didn't show up is one, because his Jackass friends was going to do a better job, and also he knew if he had came, they would have just started arguing, and it would have made everything awkward with his friends watching them two argue. Like, so yeah, I just wanted to realize that added more to the context for it.
It was his first day totally sober. After a week sitting in what feels like solitary confinement, Steve-O started reading a book on alcoholism, thinking about his life. He was defeated. He thought he was a lost cause. He thought nothing worse could happen, meaning the only way he could go was up. He was the perfect candidate for sobriety. He could only improve from here, and that's exactly what he did. Since that day, Steve-O has not consumed any drugs or alcohol. From the day I'm scripting this video, 5,248 days sober, 14 years, 4 months.
That's really good though. Like, that's really good, because most alcoholics, that extreme never like stop once they get that in deep.
15 days, 172 months. An amazing accomplishment. But after a few months of getting sober, the fog starts to clear. Steve realizes how much of a burden he was, how embarrassed he was, how much harm he caused to his friends and family, all the bridges he burned, all the terrible public appearances. He felt shame. He felt like he worked so hard to get sober, only to feel worse.
Very few people stay sober for long term. It's actually like 5% of alcoholics, and the other 95%, they say, die drunk of causes related directly to alcoholism or respectively drug abuse.
The mission of staying sober is a lifelong battle. The toughness of that is grossly underestimated by people today. Luckily, Steve-O has a massive audience of people that still love him. Plus, he didn't just get totally lame afterwards. In fact, some people argue that sober Steve-O was funnier because he was more relatable. He showed his fear on camera in Jackass 3D, which was hilarious. Throughout the past decade, he's still trying to outdo his old stunts and prove to himself.
That's one thing I do like about Steve-O. Even like, he doesn't need to be drunk to like do stunts. Like, he does stunts even when he's sober. That's like, I think some people underestimate that, because like when you're drunk you can do wild shit. You can jump through tables and shit, but like when you're drunk, when you're sober, you actually feel the fucking pain. I can argue when you're drunk you won't feel as much pain as when you're sober.
That he can be just as rad while being sober. He rescued a street dog in Peru, Wendy, who became his life partner. He became a big animal rights activist. He now owns a small farm that he and his fiancée take care of. He went vegan for many years. He even went celibate for over a year to test his strength. He got arrested, sure, but that's because he was protesting SeaWorld. He started pursuing a stand-up comedy career, even releasing a special in 2020, and promoted it by duct taping himself to a billboard. He has an active YouTube channel and podcast that he uses to rehash all
this is the one I watch. I watch his podcast sometimes.
Crazy stories and experiences. He connects with people who are in recovery and does his best to extend his help to other friends and celebrities suffering from addiction. He continues to push a positive message and be a role model for all people, let alone people struggling from addiction. It's a miracle that Steve-O is alive. The bravest, hardest, and most badass stunt he ever did was get sober and stay sober.
That's good on him, man. Good on you.
There's one AI site builder.
Be quiet, please. Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's never too late to change, man. Good on Steve-O. Guys, that was Steve-O. If you enjoyed, smash that like button, subscribe, follow me on my Instagram and Facebook, and my gaming and my reaction channel. And see you guys. Stay safe.